Camera speeding!
Sound speeds.
And action! Welcome to the Urban Pebble podcast. I'm Adam Rabora.
And I'm Teresa Moore.
And this is probably the best place you're going to learn about indie film in Chicago. And speaking of, we have a super wonderful guest today, Mr. Whitman Johnson.
Hello. Thank you so much for bringing me on. I really appreciate it.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. Really busy right now, but that's life in the arts, and trying to make money.
Filmmaking and supporting oneself yes. And all sorts of things, yeah.
Well, for those that don't know, Whit is a phenomenal actor and has recently last year become a producer.
Yeah. I just I've always kind of kicked the can with writing, and doing a few things here and there, and then late 2023, I just kind of got bit by the bug and was like, you know what, I want to write something, and then. Later in 2024, I took a week, spit it out, had a good friend of mine write some of it and edit it, and then we were off to the races.
Yeah, so the film we're talking a bunch about today is The Bone Grinder.
Yes, The Bone Grinder.
Which, could you give a quick synopsis?
Yeah, please. We'd love to learn more about it.
Yeah, there's two best friends, gay and straight, Jacob Craig-O'Snell and Whitman Johnson, track down a queer murderer who is really good in bed. A little horror comedy, kind of the old school scary movies. I love that genre. I love the irreverent humor with a lot of fourth wall breaks. So
it's very funny. And we actually read it at an Urban Pebble. We did a table read a while ago.
Yeah.
And we read an earlier version than what was actually shot, but it got a rip-roaring response from the people.
Well, it was really fun because I was also the DP of this project. Oh, yeah. And I remember that how it all it kicked off. You were thinking about doing it. You called me and were like, hey, let's chat about maybe doing this. And I won the very fitting part was I went in a walk in a graveyard while I was on the phone with you. So I
did not know that. Wow.
True part of it. But we were talking about who could we get to direct this? How do we want to shoot this? Let's go and you were talking a lot about the camp, not campy, but going off old 80s slashers and bringing in a lot of that energy to it.
Yeah.
And
so it really was. It's so funny just to see how this thing snowballed in such a beautiful way. Because again, okay, so set the stage. It was late 2023. I was actually at Christmas Mass. This is a true story. I was sitting. It was before church had started, and one of the line. There's a line in the movie where it's he's inside the gate, he's inside the house, he's inside me. And that line, I'm sitting in just mind blank, waiting for church to start. And the good Lord spoke through me, and I thought of that line, and I started laughing. And that's when I texted Jacob, my writing buddy. And I was like, hey, this is just a funny line. And so from there, it started snowballing. And a couple months later, I just got bit by the bug, wrote it. And that's when I reached out to you, and I was like, hey, Urban Pebble, we can do something. We can film, throw something together, make it really quick, easy. And then you were like, well, you should reach out to Danny Rhodes as the director. Danny Rhodes, a phenomenal director who we brought on board with this project and who elevated it in every conceivable way.
I love Danny Rhodes so much.
Yes.
I've worked with him a bunch of times on Alison Torum's films, and it was just one of those where I was like, who could possibly, and it was just
it hit you immediately.
It's got to be him. He has such a dark sense of humor too. And loves all things horror. So it was we have to. And I remember at first it started as a thing where we were yeah, we could just kind of shoot this thing, and you might know a haunted house or something, or we can figure something out and do something.
Oh boy, did you find a haunted house or what?
Well, so and this is just the story of the project, is I just reached out to people I knew. I reached out to Adam, and Adam was like, oh, reach out to this guy, Danny Rhodes. And Danny Rhodes has such a wealth of experience, and so he was suggesting people, but I have a filmmaker friend, Sam George, who's very wonderful, and she does some location scouting and art direction and so much. And she suggested Hell's Gate, which is a haunted house down in Lockport, Illinois. And I went down and checked them out, and I just
It's
immediately fell in
wild.
love. It is unbelievable. If you have the chance to go to
This
Hell's
is the
Gate,
time of year to go
Yes, yeah,
and like
it's-
see them in their full
yeah,
glory.
absolutely. Like, look, they may be sold out on Halloween tickets or they're around those dates, but go. And I'm not even like I'm terrified of haunted houses.
It was terrifying.
I'm the person who screams at like the highest decibel. So yeah, it's phenomenal, and even during the day, it's scary. I was doing a tour like during daylight with the lights on, and I was like, okay, this is good.
Yep.
But yeah, like reaching out to Sam George for suggestions on that. Danny gave some suggestions for people. Teresa, of course, I was like, oh, I've got to have Teresa in there. So you played the wonderful Plot Device.
I did. I played a character that was named Plot Device.
Yes.
She's
the
a
highest
newscaster.
brow art.
She's a newscaster. She is what she is. I love her.
That was
I love
my favorite part with Teresa's plot device was after all the main shoot we shot her in front of a green screen to do the newscast part, and one of the lines talked about like a femme fatale, and Teresa is
I was a French professor for 8.5 years at Loyola University Chicago, and I couldn't say it Americanly.
Can you pronounce it how you?
Femme fatale.
Femme
fatale.
And I remember we had to be like, all right, so why try saying it like this, and you were like, no.
I was like, Teresa, just say femme fatale.
I was like, I can't
Southern
do it. It
accent.
hurt.
No,
We finally got it out, but that was
We
fun.
did.
I had to give a reason.
Yeah, you did. You had to reason with me because I was like, maybe our character knows how to speak French. Why would Plot Device?
Plot Device sounds like a French name. I'm just going to say that.
Device.
Super French.
You never know.
I'm just saying Teresa did some deep work.
I like went too hard, but you came up with it,
I think I
Adam.
just talked
you
to,
just
what was it, Notre Dame and Notre Dame?
And I was like,
it
that's fair.
Americans.
Yeah.
Suck at
Dirty
French.
Americans.
Yeah, it's
We're
all
the
good.
worst.
You convinced me. It's fine. It was written in English. I get it. I understand.
Oh, no, it was written in French. This is the translation.
Shoot. You tricked me. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, like this film, I have never been a producer up until this point, or like I had written stuff, but never, produced it or sold it or anything. And so this really was a first in a lot of ways. And so I was coming into this really green, and just the film family of Chicago is so welcoming and so willing to help that I never once felt like I was out of my element. That so many people were willing to either jump on board and help out or just answer a question. So yeah,
And honestly, I think as far as independent film goes, the weekend the main shooting happened, or week that happened, it was the big indie project in Chicago.
it was wild.
Yeah, we saw it all over the place.
All
It was all
over.
over social media. There were casting calls. Everything was like, it was like, this is the bone grinder
Agents were
weekend.
posting about people getting cast in it. Like we were seeing like booked pages
was
popped
really
up
fun.
on. I mean, like it became a big thing.
And it's so, again, like I'm not here to talk about like how, you should reel in your production budget, because that didn't happen. This was completely like, oh wow, okay, this is way bigger than I thought it would be. So scope creep. Maybe that'll be the next thing I learn.
It was really crazy because again, like it started off as just
Super,
this thing that like it was like, oh, let's just rock this little
let's
thing.
grab a
Maybe we
camera.
can figure it out. We got it.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it was like, all right, now this person's involved, and Danny reached out to this person who's willing to give us a discount, which grows it to this, and then we like became like this giant. And by the time, like I remember. As the DP, I've DP'd projects before, but I was like, all right, there's like very on the indie project scale and stuff. I'm like, got this, no problem. Then all of a sudden it was like, oh, this is massive. And I was like studying, doing as much practice as I can, getting like every camera piece. It's like, I cannot mess this up.
Danny was like, yeah, I know someone from Barristab. Yeah, Catherine Cunningham. Yeah, she works on Yellowstone, like that like amazing TV show that's all the rage that my parents watch. I was like, hey, mom and dad, you know this person? They're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, she's gonna be in my
In your short
10-minute
film.
indie horror campy film.
It was so
It
crazy
became
how
so big.
I'm always fascinated by your you went through not Kickstarter, you went Indiegogo.
No, GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
Yes.
Yeah.
How was your process with that?
I was like, oh, this is going to be a lot of money. This is the process. Like, okay, this is expensive. Okay, so we're going to do, a GoFundMe, a little fundraiser. And, I kind of documented my filmmaking process on Instagram. And I need to get back to that. I've got a couple ideas. But I made the GoFundMe. I reached out to people I knew who wanted to support me. I work at a bar on the weekends. I marketed it there. And it just I ended up making just from the GoFundMe alone, about like $9,000.
Nice.
And then had a couple people who were just gave me money separately, which was incredibly kind of them. So yeah, it was. I'm not here to say this is how you do it, and this is exactly the right way
you hustled hard,
yeah,
though, because we're talking about
great.
just fundraising for filmmaking in general can be really overwhelming, and this was your first big project. Which rule of thumb is your friends and family fund for you / you fund yourself. So how true was that for you?
I spent about $2,500 of my own money, which is
that's not nothing.
That's not nothing, but in the grand scheme of things, in the overall budget, and that's over the course of. This film has been in full pre-production and post-production for over a year now, so it's not that bad. I was surprised I did not spend as much as I did, or I'm surprised I did not spend more than I did. Okay, I say that now. The film's not done, so
there's plenty of time for you to spend money.
There's plenty of times for things to blow up. Yeah.
Also, marketing budget should be what the
That's
same
true.
budget as
Exactly.
the film. So
Something
whatever
like
that is.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can we make smoke signals and just scream at people? Go watch this.
What's gonna stand on the side of the highway with a sign and be like bone grinder? Question mark.
I'll just wear the bone grinder mask and hold up the chainsaw, and then when people scream,
It's the perfect month for it.
Exactly.
Which also, okay, can you talk a little bit about the mask?
Oh,
how that
my
came
goodness.
together?
Bill Morey, wonderful friend of mine. He works in theater costuming, and I had met him at the bar I worked at, and we'd just become friends over the years. And I mentioned to him, hey, I'm making this short film. There's a monster character in it, and I want him to look kind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre-y. I just have some ideas. And he just offered to help. He was like, yeah, let's do it. And I kind of gave him a loose concept of what I wanted, and he crushed it. That costume is legitimately scary. I have the mask, and my 7-year-old nephew was up with my sister, and I showed it to him, and he was like, oh, put it away. It's he was hands over his eyes.
Wow. So it scares little kids.
It scares little kids. It's good to know. In case
So
little
yours
kids
is
ever attack me, I can put it on
you
and
can
scare
put on
them
the
away.
mask,
Yeah.
but
Instant
also so this film, is it family friendly, or should we?
No, not at all. Thank you for asking. No, that's a resound. It's R.
It's rated R.
Yeah, firmly R. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Just checking.
Very R.
So for everybody out there who's listening with little kiddos,
Yeah.
don't.
Thanks
do
for
it.
showing this to your kids, by the way. This podcast, but,
Please don't.
Start them young.
No.
But yeah, it's so bizarre that I came up with this film. The idea percolated right before Christmas Mass. But it was, it's just been such a wonderful process. And every step of the way, I feel like I've learned something new. But like I said, I've never felt out of my element. Everyone behind the camera was wonderful. Everyone in front of the camera, the actors I got, and I say that I'm the worst actor in the film, and I say that with love. That's the best thing I could ever say, because every one of the actors that I cast knocked it out of the park. And every time I watch it, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so. Everyone just nails it. Donovan Sessions, I play myself, obviously, but Jacob is not an actor, my writing partner, and so we hired an actor named Donovan Sessions, who is amazing. I love him. We're doing a Bone Grinder 2. I'm gonna bring him on board. I'll bring him on board in every one of my films. All our other characters, Trey DeLuna, who plays the Bone Grinder, who Doesn't have very many voice lines, but what he has, he just absolutely kills. Like, it's just everybody, no matter how big or small their part, was just everybody kills.
Everybody. Death around. Death all around.
Death is around. That could be a tagline for the next film.
Next film.
Okay.
Death all around.
But and not just pre and during production, but also post production. We had Max Mooney, who was editing it. Scott Ackerland. Scott Ackerland, who's doing some VFX work. The Kevin Vicks, who's our audio guy, and it's like I want to say these names because I'm like, please hire these people, but also there's a very, very selfish part of me that doesn't want to name these names, so then they'll be mine forever. Yeah.
So you hear that? Go hire these people.
Yes. Please do. I've worked with a bunch of them, and they are the greatest people in the world. Yeah, such a talented cast and crew. And
it's so exciting.
And everyone came to play because we didn't stop moving the whole time we're there. Like, especially because it was 2 days of main shooting. It was the cafe the first day.
2 days, yes.
And then Hell House the second day.
Hell's Gate.
Oh, good.
I'm just contractually obligated.
Good. We're very excited about that.
It was crazy because it was just like once we got going, everyone was nonstop.
My brain was
around.
soup by the end of it. I mean, 2 full days of shooting, but it was so much fun. Like, everybody was just, like you said, there to play, having a great time. From start to finish. Just what a rush! I couldn't have asked.
The locations were great, but also, like, talking about locations, we're lucky in Chicago that we have the ability to, like, have a friend who knows a place who's willing to give it for a shoot. Yeah. Because even how did the coffee shop come to be?
Villa Perk, I believe, in Villa Park, really cute coffee shop. And that was Danny Rhodes, another one of those Danny Rhodes. Oh, I know a guy. He's like, yeah, I live by a coffee shop. We got
they
that
were
one.
Lovely.
Which was so lovely.
Okay, which one of the craziest pieces was we did a tour day of both Hell's Gate and Villa Perk, and we went to Hell's Gate. Insane. It's like I always kept thinking of it like Cabin in the Woods, where like because we walk through the backstage area and there's just doors all over that are like murder room, dragon's lair, slaughterhouse. Like every door was like a different access point. But then we went from there to Villa Perk to check that out and see how we could do stuff. And one of the baristas there worked at Hell's Gate as like a flying twin girl. She's like, oh yeah, I worked there. We're like,
she's like, yeah, I'm one of the creepy undead twins that flies over you. We're like,
oh,
this is lovely.
As one does.
Yeah, exactly. And like the people at Hell's Gate too, so nice. Just the kindest people. You're seeing like, they're normally like dressed up in makeup and blood and gore, and they're like, oh hi, how are you?
No, because it's like, even I talked with the guy who like owns the place and makes those decisions, and it was just like so generous towards another art form. Yeah. So generous towards the people coming into the place. So yeah, I guess this is also like ad for Hell's Gate because they deserve it.
This is an ad for every single person who was on that project because they were fantastic.
They were so generous and kind. So that was lovely. And then I did a little mini sort of like interview piece with our Villa Perk coffee shop owner. And one of the things that sticks out to me thinking back to what he was saying is how proud he was to be a part of a film. And what a compliment it was that you guys chose his coffee shop to film at. And I think that maybe that's a little special Midwest energy, a little Midwest flair that we bring to like location finding and providing that maybe doesn't happen everywhere. Because like, I really appreciate that. That was very kind of our Villa Perk folks too.
It was just kindness across the board. And I think when people see... There was a moment where I was a little scared when I realized how big this project was going to get. But when people see a big project and they see people moving and they see people taking action and making art, I think that inspires people to want to help.
100%.
And they're like, yeah, absolutely. I want to help create art. There's something very primal about creating art and like making your mark and connecting with other people like that. And so, yeah, I just, by the end of it, I had people reaching out to me on Instagram or via email being like, hey, is there anything I can do to help out with this project? And like,
You're like,
I
donate.
felt, yes. I was,
You're like, just money.
actually, yes. But like I was feeling bad because I was having like, there was times like, well, yes, like, you know, like you could do with this or this, but some people I was like, there's literally nothing at this point. You know, we were like a couple days away from shooting. So it was, but you know, people just want to help. They want.
I think action and momentum spurs action and momentum.
Yeah.
And so I think it's like it started, but by virtue of it being made, by doing it, it became big.
If you are doing what you enjoy, something that is fulfilling, I've come to realize that effort begets effort. Like if you start doing something and you are fulfilled by it, you are going to want to continue doing that thing. And it just becomes this wonderful hamster wheel of just like you're going to keep working at it and keep pushing forward, and people see that and people want to be a part of it. And so if you're sitting on a project or you're thinking about like making something, just make it. You know, whether it's perfect or not doesn't matter. You know, you want it to be good, but then also the learning experience you get from it is unbelievable. Like the amount of things I've learned over the last year and a half from making this, we could spend 2 hours on this podcast just talking about it, 20 hours. It's made me a better actor. It's made me better at project management. It's made me a better budgeter. I've learned about editing, sound engineering. It got me back into playing piano and saxophone and like learning musical composition because I'm working with Tony Scott Green, who is again not someone else you should hire, who's the composer, who's excellent, and my best friend Adam Ray, who's doing the in credit theme song. And I was talking with them about the different keys that this film should be in. So just if you make something, you'll learn from it, and if it's great, amazing. If it's not, you'll still learn for the next time. And it was wonderful.
Hey, do you like laughing? Do you like fun? Well, if you said no, you're weird. But if you said yes, you should come to the Part Dog Show this Saturday, September 27th at the Bug House Theater. It's going to be a super good time. We have opener Where's Jeff? And Part Dog's just kind of the best improv group that's ever existed. So if you miss it, it's kind of on you. Come on out. It'll be great. Teresa and I are in it. Do it. Come on. Just do it already. Well, speaking of, Kevin Vicks.
Kevin Vicks.
You want to talk about him?
Oh my God, Vicks. Like the one-man band, Kevin Vicks, literally, who
the hero.
He like had like audio equipment on like his hip, and he was like doing the boom mic and had like wires attached to everybody for their lav mics, or not wires attached, but you know, like the wireless things attached to their lav mics, and did post-production audio engineering. Just, you know,
he's one of my favorite people. I try to work with him anytime I can, and I knew like we were like talking audio for this show. I was like,
maybe
Danny and I was like, we got him, we got the guy.
Yeah, and just super nice too. Like, and that was, again, like everybody was incredibly skilled, but you can be skilled and be a bit of a jerk, and we didn't have any of that, except for that producer. That guy.
Oh man, I wonder what producer we're thinking of.
That guy was a jerk.
Could his name start with a wit?
Nope, not me. Everyone was super, super nice, and like even like the extras. We had those twins. Remember we were at the coffee shop?
Oh my gosh, that's right. They were great.
And Danny, Mr. like charismatic, was like. He saw like two twins looking, and they're like, "Oh, you guys filming?" And Danny was like,
"They were like locals."
Because
right?
I think originally they were the kids that came in and were like, "Hey, can we be in your movie?" Yeah. And we're like, "No, shoot!" And then Danny looked over and was like, "Those are twins."
Gears started turning.
Like, actually,
they were great too.
Yeah,
so good.
Everybody was great. And we got, I forget his name, but the former drummer that was in Plain White Tees.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He was
a quick little part.
Yeah, little like cameo as like one of the Bear Stab's thralls.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was,
And Danny, of course, Danny knows him too. Danny's like, I just know a guy.
He just knows all of everyone.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of filmmaking is knowing somebody. It's super collaborative.
Or knowing somebody who knows somebody. Again, like I know people. I have friends.
Yeah, Whit. You have
I
friends.
have friends. Thank you. Thank you. I feel validated.
You do. You should.
But reaching out to your community, who will reach out to their community, who will reach out to their community. And, like insurance. I had to get insurance on this movie. Another thing I learned, getting insurance so, you don't get sued. And
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
So
what were like the surprises along the way, producing wise, especially as like the whole project snowballed into what it became?
Well, yeah. So like getting insurance was one thing. You just don't think about it. I don't know. Maybe you think about it.
You got
I
an
didn't.
LLC. You formed an LLC.
I had to form an LLC, and I reached out to a friend of a friend who lives in LA, and he was like, "Yeah, you can do, try this company." And it was just like random people who were able to help me out.
That's awesome.
Random surprises. The forming the LLC was just something I just didn't think about doing until
It's
it
not
just
like
hit me.
a thing, because especially again, it like started. It was just going to be a small thing, and then all of a sudden it was like, no, this is major. We need insurance at Hell's Gate for the coffee shop, for like all the people and equipment coming in. And
So I thought about insurance first before even thinking about the LLC, because I was thinking, we're going to bring people, like if I'm going to have expensive camera equipment, and I believe Hell's Gate
It probably
required
requires insurance, yeah.
And then it was like, well, what am I insuring? Oh, I need to make an LLC.
Oops.
And that was the moment I realized, well, I want to start filming this. I just want to start filming my thoughts as I make this movie, kind of this journey. So I did about 9 or 10 Instagram reels about this, and that first one I think was just making an LLC, which I had never done. I'm not.
Who does?
I went to business school. I guess I should have done it at some point, but I did for art, because of art. So it's a beautiful fusion of art and business.
We feel that keenly.
Yes.
And I don't know if I was going the right way about it. I went through this online portal that said, hey, you can make an LLC with this, and I got it all set up, and no one's stolen my information, or fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed yet.
And I went to Chase and got a business checking account set up, and did all the things that I don't know.
It's
you just,
a lot of steps.
Well, you just go on, seriously, go on Google, use AI, just be like, how do I set up a business? And it'll just guide you through it, or Google anything. Start with what you know. Okay, great. I need to make an LLC, and go to where you're going. Just be like, well, how do I find this out? I can ask people, or I can ask Google, and just follow your feet. That's what I did. I'm talking from experience, but I'm not some expert in this. I just did it. I asked people.
So I guess the real question is, now having gone through all this and become a bona fide producer,
Bona fide bone grinder.
Bone jokes.
We got 'em.
Grinder
Would you
producer.
do it again?
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Is it
I've
like
already
that? Oh.
started writing Bone Grinder 2.
Wow.
I've got like a page or two. I actually have the entire outline of Bone Grinder 2 done.
my gosh.
Because I just love that. I just want to bring on as many people again as possible for this silly, silly film. And I started writing other things. I've written more serious. I've got like some scripts that I'm sitting on a little bit, that I'm waiting to pull the trigger on and produce. But when it comes to producing, absolutely. I loved. It's just like creating art. Being an actor is amazing, and I love really getting into the character. But from the idea of just being able to help control the story and guide the story how you want it to go, being a producer, and I assume but being a director, especially being like an indie film producer. If I had Steven Spielberg directing, I'd imagine I wouldn't get much say of anything. But being an indie film producer, it's like, hey, this is how I kind of want this to be. This is the story I want to tell, this very silly, irreverent story. And, getting people on board who understand that vision, like Danny Rhodes, just immediately heard what I was picking up, what I was putting down. There was just seeing something that was in my brain on screen is crazy to me. And it just, and seeing how everybody's little touches they've put on, you as the DP, Teresa as plot device, and also your wonderful work for getting behind the scenes, which was very, very wonderful, and posting that. Danny's touches, all the actors, the sound, it's wonderful. I watch it and I see everybody's fingerprints on it in such a wonderful way.
Yeah, I always think that's the little magic of film, and I'm sure this is a very, very you had the script, and then you blow it through the system of all these artists and things, and there's all these little moments of genius that pop out of it, and you get the end idea, but it's something totally different than what you initially thought of or how a joke would go.
But it's better. You're just and I hate I hope this doesn't sound conceited, but it's seeing this and being seeing everybody's fingerprints and how they elevated it. You're wow, I helped facilitate that. Which is I don't know, it's a proud parent feeling. Seriously, I'm one proud mama. That I helped do that.
Of course, I think that's maybe the magic of producing is everybody brings their magic to it, but the real magic is making it happen.
Everyone, it's you, as a producer, you're bringing everyone together and then being
go play.
And that was so wonderful to see. The moment, there were two moments I remember first day of filming at the coffee shop. I walked on, first moment was, having never been a producer, I walked into the coffee shop, and there were probably 30 to 40 to 50 people in that tiny coffee shop, and everybody stopped and looked at me, and there was a path opened up, and I was oh yeah, I'm the producer. Oh yes, serious, which was just really surprising because I'd never had that happen. And it was, that was the one part I was oh, it's totally fine, keep doing your thing. But the other thing was when people weren't noticing me, and I stood back and I just saw this beautiful colony of people all working in tandem and creating and communicating, people meeting each other. And that's just awesome. That is art. That is the creation of art is just as important as the art itself. I was talking about AI earlier, and before we even recorded this podcast, I think I was talking I don't, whatever your opinions of AI are, I don't have any fear of AI completely uprooting the creation of art or completely overtaking it, because there is something so human, so primal about creating art. We've been making art since we've had the ability to sit around a fire, or since we've put crushed up berries on a cave wall. It's that's why do we
Tuesday, let's be honest.
Why back in the 50s, scientists came up with pills that you could take instead of eating, that provided all your nutrition and calories, but those failed because people like eating, people like sitting with each other and breaking bread with each other. It's the same with art. I have a lot of problems with AI. Be wrong. I think it's fine from a productivity standpoint, but when it comes to making art, it's just
missing that that time on set and the creative, all it's the same as why have a print versus the original, and why does that matter if it's the same image?
Well, also I think there's AI is the capitalization of art. I'm not trying to get into politics here, but truly it's just why do we use AI to make art? It's because it's quick, it's easy, and you can sell it. But art there's something so human about it that to remove that takes something, and we like creating art. We as humans, we like to see something in our heads out on paper, or we liked connecting with each other through art. So no, I don't think AI is going to ever.
I think there's a big spark that happens with art. When you are talking about bringing all these people together and everybody's putting their stamp and their magic into the thing, it's there's an energy about the thing that you make that it's unique to itself. And because so many people are part of it, you were talking about how it was the biggest thing that weekend that week when it was filming, and people were reaching out, and it became a little supernova in its own way. And I think as you move forward with it, it's there's this natural progression of the creation, the big spark of creation is such a cool moment that we can all hold on to and be part of. And now, you know, thinking from like the audience perspective, which hasn't seen your film yet, like what's this next moment? Like when does, you know, Bone Grinder, what's next for Bone Grinder?
And so I'm at two paths, which is, you know, I want to put it out on festivals. We're very close. I keep saying we're very close to being done, and we are. I had some busy job stuff, related stuff, and signed on a condo, and life got really busy, but still moving forward. Tony Scott Green, the composer, is almost done with his composition, with his score. Kevin Vicks is working on the last few little sound cues, and then my best friend Adam Ray is working on the end credit song and a couple other things, and then just mashing that all together, cleaning up the credits, and then we're off to the races. And that's, you know, Teresa, I know I've talked to you about like, this is the next part. I don't know what to do. Submitting to film festivals, I am completely out of my element. So I reached out to Teresa, who I know has a lot of experience with that, and I was like, help me. Please.
And here we are.
Yes.
Yeah, talking about the journey and basically setting you up to succeed in that next moment where you can bring not just the people in the Chicago community along, but basically anybody who's watching along too.
Entire world.
Yeah.
Why not?
But especially like I think this is gonna go great for like any horror festivals, comedy. It has like a lot of range to it.
Yeah,
it's just so fun.
Horror, comedy, LGBTQ because it's queer focused. It's as focused and bizarre as the story is. It hits a lot of different communities, which I love.
You're like perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
Great for film fest.
Yes. Let's submit it everywhere. But there's that. Obviously, I want to push that forward, and I'm super excited for that. But also, like, I want to see the art, but I also want to make more because it's like both. It's like, yeah, you get to see the thing you make, but also you get to make the thing you make, and both of those parts are wonderful.
There is a whole other experience too when you actually get to see it in front of people, and I'm excited to hear how your journey goes because I think that'll also affect like how your writing goes for your like Bone Grinder 2 or any of your other projects. Is like when you see reactions that you didn't expect, or like you're like, oh, this killed here, or this like bombed here, or this like just like someone was genuinely terrified of this film. Like we did the one a while back, and just watching people like we're like, we've seen this film 100 times, you know, no problem. And then like seeing someone in the audience be like, no, we're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's scary. We didn't even. What?
Wow.
You know,
we elicited an emotion.
Cool. And it kind of really is like the last. You know, it's funny because there's so much that goes into the creation of film, post, during your actual filming and all the things. And then like the last whole conversation of it is like its reaction with the audience and how it interacts.
Like putting it out into the world. So
it's
like
not scary at all.
Basically, we're going to ask when it's possible. We'll have Wit back before it's available wherever we can actually see it. Maybe before a film festival.
Yeah,
well, maybe for something like that. And I would love to hear people's responses.
Oh yeah.
Drop a comment, you know, in the future. Like, or tell us if you want to see this film because I think I want to see this film.
I'm so excited. It's so silly and dumb in the best way possible. Like not bad dumb, but stupid dumb because that's my type of humor and I love it.
Well, where can people follow along on the journey?
They can follow my Instagram, Whitman_Johnson. That's where I post most of my work. I know as we gear up for film festivals, we'll probably make a Instagram specifically for the Bone Grinder. But if you follow my Instagram handle, you will learn about that. I'll post.
I'm sure you'll collaborate with yourself.
Yes, we'll collaborate with myself.
And if you don't, I think you should collaborate with yourself.
I will do that. I talked to myself already.
There we go.
Perfect.
We love collaboration in film.
But yeah, truly, like making like this whole project has just been one of those watershed moments of my life. Those just moments of like, wow, like I can do this. I love it, and I want to do more of it. And it's been transformative. So I really love it.
Well, I'm so excited to see the film in its full state. I saw like the early cut, so I'm like been just like And you showed me like a clip on set for Hold Your Horses recently, and I was like, oh. Yeah. So I'm so excited to see it, so excited to see the journey, and so excited to see what you do next with all this newfound producer power.
I've been bitten. I got the itch. So
we can't wait. This is so exciting. And also, congratulations. Like making anything.
Thank you. Yes.
Anything is worth celebrating. And this is a huge project. What started as something small was
massive.
It's massive now.
Yeah.
And that in and of itself was just wonderful. Like I wanted it to be small, but it was so big, and it's like, well, I can tackle a big project now.
Oh, you really can.
Yeah, that's easy.
Oh yeah, if you can do that, you can do pretty much anything.
Yeah, for sure. So,
well, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me. This was so much fun. I appreciate it,
Yeah.
and hope to be on again, maybe for my next film or for the Bone Grinder as it hits the film.
People stay tuned for everything Bone Grinder.
Yeah. Just we're excited to put it out into the world too in our little way.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And cut. That's a wrap, everybody.